We are down to 8. Today we've got the second round of the college football playoff, and we'll determine which 4 teams will be our final 4. In the last episode, we went through round 1. We had some pretty exciting matchups and some really close games. To recap quickly for those who may have missed or forgot what happened, in case you did miss, I'll leave a card at the top right of your screen. But this is what our bracket looks like. Some upsets, some surprising results, and some very, very close games. Of course, the most surprising result of all was Texas and Tulane going into double overtime, a game that Texas did win. But Tulane got chance after chance after chance, and they shot themselves in the foot continuously. Ohio State goes into College Station and defeats the Aggies of Texas A&M, 36-14. Michigan blows out Notre Dame. Riley Leonard throwing 4 interceptions in the final 3 minutes of the game, something I've quite literally never seen before. And then, of course, with our Kansas Jayhawks, we defeated SMU 42-28 in an exciting, high-scoring matchup. The offense, of course, leading the way, 28 points in the second quarter. Season-high 4 touchdown passes for Jalen Daniels. He was incredible. We could not run the ball really at all for most of this game. Entering our final possession, Devin Neal had single-digit yards on the ground. We obviously had some big plays through the air. Quentin Skinner and Lawrence Arnold only had 5 catches, but they combined for pretty much 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. The defense made plays, sent pressure, and despite a solid second half from Preston Stone, the comeback effort was not enough. Moochie Dixon with 4 catches for $118 and 3. He did all he could for the Mustangs, but ultimately our Kansas Jayhawks will continue the improbable season, and we will play against the University of Oregon in the second round at the Rose Bowl. We'll cover all 4 games today. We'll start things off here with the Sugar Bowl between Utah, the Big 12 champs, and Michigan. The last time we saw Utah, of course, was at the Big 12 championship, where they ultimately beat us in a very close game. As for Michigan, sneaking into the college football playoff with 4 losses after losing the Big 10 championship to Oregon, but they mopped the floor with Notre Dame. Alex Orji had a very efficient day through the air. Donovan Edwards was dominant on the ground, and obviously the defense was tremendous. Mason Graham and Josiah Stewart, likely potential first-round draft picks with multiple sacks, multiple plays in the backfield. And then, of course, Will Johnson with 3 interceptions and 2 pick sixes, all within the final minutes of the game. Even though Michigan lost 4 games this year, and of the teams in the playoff has certainly been the most inconsistent one, this team has plenty of experience. They've been there, done that, and their experience clearly showed in their win against the Irish. Their opponent, though, is the Utah Utes, who went 12-1, nearly had the undefeated season before a late loss to Iowa State. Of course, they beat us in the conference championship game, a really close matchup that they really shouldn't have won, but they had a few things go their way late, and an impressive drive from Cameron Rising was ultimately able to lead them to the win. Rising is an old man. He's, I think, 26 years old now, looking to finally win a playoff game for Utah, and these guys had the talent to do it. Some good skill position players on offense, led by Micah Bernard and Damian Alford, and certainly some really good players defensively as well. I think Michigan's a little bit more talented out of these 2 teams, but Utah's had the better season. They had the extra week off with the bye week, and they are certainly equipped to win this matchup, the winner advancing to the Final 4, where they will play against either Ohio State or Georgia. You may notice that the screen looks really bright. Your eyes are not deceiving you. Unfortunately, there's quite literally nothing I could do about it, so we're going to roll with it. It's only going to look like this for this game. Apparently, it's an issue with the Sugar Bowl for a lot of people. It wasn't just my game. It's a thing for everybody. But again, we're going to have to roll with it. And a quick start for Utah. They get a nice gain nearing the 35. 3rd and 11. Rising for the screen. And they will not get much. Maybe a couple of yards. Michigan there with the stop. And they will get it back on offense after the failed screen for John Randall, the freshman running back. As that one is hauled in on 3rd down. The All-American Colston Loveland does not get the first down. Utah gets it back, marching down the field, and that'll end a pretty unexciting first quarter. Not a whole lot of action here. No score through 1. But The Utes are marching. Their offense has been able to move it slowly but surely. They've ran the ball quite efficiently during this drive, and we'll see if they're able to score first, if they're able to punch it in for a touchdown. 3rd and 11 at the 14-yard line. Rising goes back to the screen game, and it's incomplete off of Randall's helmet, and they will be forced to kick a field goal. And our first point of the second round of the college football playoff should come from the leg of Cole Becker. 31-yarder is good, and Utah strikes first. They lead 3-0. Let's take a look at the Michigan offense, who had a strong game against Notre Dame. Wasn't perfect, but they were efficient, and they played their brand of football by running the ball. There's a nice play. Orgy connects on the curl route for a first down reception by Samaj Morgan, who's had a fantastic sophomore season, a really underrated player who's turned into an extremely important cog for this offense. 3rd and 1. Here's a big first down run. That's not Donovan Edwards. That's not the backup Kalel Mullings. That's Benjamin Hall with the gain. It's a read option, and Orgy is smothered in the backfield with no room to go anywhere. That was on a 3rd down as well. Junior Tafuna, the likely future NFL draft pick, is home to make the play. That'll bring up the field goal unit. Dominic Zvada's kick is no good. He missed an easy kick last week against Notre Dame, and he misses another one here. Utah gets it back with an opportunity to make it a 2-score lead. On first down, they'll go to the ground with Micah Bernard, the talented running back, who gets it near the 40. Bernard projected as a day 3 pick currently in this year's draft, a very physically impressive player. On first down, it's a screen and a solid gain after the catch. It's Damian Alford, another likely day 3 selection. The big-bodied 6'6" receiver hailing from Montreal brings them near the red zone, and now Bernard gets Utah inside the 10. Utah with their most impressive drive of the game. Can they finish it off with a touchdown? They will. Direct snap for Bernard. He is in for the score, and the Utah Utes add to the lead. It is now 10-0, and now we've got to see a sense of urgency from Michigan. Their defense does not look like the same Michigan defense that we saw a week ago. They only let up 3 against Notre Dame. Today, not as much luck. Orgy starts the drive looking long. It is caught! Tyler Morris down the field, a 79-yard touchdown, and Michigan is back in the ball game. A quick turn of events here. There's been barely any offense, and then boom, back-to-back plays from scrimmage. Utah scores a touchdown, and Michigan gets one right back. A big-time throw by Orgy, threading the needle perfectly into the hands of Tyler Morris, who bobbled it a little bit, but he's able to come down with it, outrunning the defensive backs. And the Wolverines are right back in it. The defending champs cut the lead to 3, and Utah will get it right back. With back-to-back strong possessions, 3rd and 10, they go to the ground, and they don't get the first down. Michigan calls timeout. They have a chance now to take the lead. Orgy looks deep again. Back to Tyler Morris to around the 25-yard line. A couple of big plays late in the second quarter for the junior Morris. Nearing the red zone on first down. Orgy up the middle. It's guess who? Tyler Morris, who gets around 20. These two are in sync right now. 1st and goal, Michigan looking for the lead. Orgy on the run, fires for the tight end, Colston Loveland, who is in for a score. What a sequence here for the Michigan offense. They were doing nothing this entire game, and then a big score and a big drive within the final 2 minutes of the first half. They lead this game 14-10, and they've got the momentum right now. A huge shift in favor of Michigan. The offense is not known for their explosiveness in the passing game, but they haven't really been able to run the ball. Donovan Edwards, I think, has been banged up. He hasn't been in the game much. So they've been looking towards the vertical passing game, and it's working. Orgy on first down. His short pass is caught. A first down and more. Tyler Morris breaking tackles nearing the 30. Morris has been the best player on the field today. My goodness, has he been impressive. Donovan Edwards up the middle with a spin move, and he is gone. The Don is into the end zone for a Michigan touchdown. Donovan Edwards was barely in the game in the first half. I don't know what the deal was. Did he take too much wear and tear after getting the ball pretty much 30 times last week? Well, he's back, and he looks healthy after that run. 21 consecutive points for Michigan. They lead 21-10. Rising under pressure, incomplete, nearly picked off by Jaysean Barnum. and the momentum is continuing to shift and shift and shift towards Michigan's side. Everything is going their way right now. 3rd and 1. Orji lobs it up again, and it's tipped away, incomplete. Could have been a touchdown. The receiver had a step on the corner. I think that was Donovan Edwards out wide. And Utah gets it back. An option pitch. Micah Bernard to around the 41-yard line. That'll wrap up the third quarter. Michigan adds to the lead with another sequence of big plays, finished off by a good run by Donovan Edwards. Utah's got to get moving quickly. Their offense was looking good early in the first half, and then they've just hit a lull. They're moving it down the field, though, on this drive. They've got it at around the 5, as it is a 2nd and goal. Got to score here. Got to get a touchdown. Make it a one-score game. As Rising fakes the handoff, looks to throw it under pressure. Hit as he throws. It's caught. Diving into the end zone is a touchdown for the All-American tight end, Brant Kuthi. And Utah makes it a one-score game and will likely go for 2. Big play here for the Utes, trying to bring the deficit within a field goal. You'd much rather be down by 3 in this spot as opposed to being down by 5. Receiver in motion, Rising, hands it off. Bernard is stopped well shy of the end zone by Jaysean Barnum. 5-point game, Michigan gets it back. Play action, Orji looks to throw it under pressure. He is sacked. Wrapped up on the play by the big fella, Keanu Tanuvasa. 3rd and 16. Orji up the middle for Colston Loveland. A first down to midfield. A huge play after the catch for Loveland. He gets 35 yards. 2nd and 8 now from the 38. Orji looking downfield. He's got his man, Samaj Morgan. Touchdown, Michigan. The vertical passing game continues to win the day for the Wolverine offense. And now Utah gets it back. 3rd and 8. Pass is incomplete. Broken up in the secondary. Obviously, they're going to have to go for it here on 4th and 8, and this might be the game. Rising looks to throw it up the middle. What a catch for a first down. Really nice grab. I thought that ball was going to fly out, but Dorian Senior hangs on to convert and essentially keep the game alive for the Utes. 2nd and 1. Rising takes a shot downfield. It's caught. Back to Senior. Inside the 30. A big play. Gain of 35 for Dorian Senior. 3rd and 7. Clock is moving. Around 2.5 to go. Rising under pressure. Broken up. Incomplete. He was looking for Money Parks, who leads Utah in touchdown receptions this year, and they're going to go for it here on 4th and 7 once again. Rising up the middle. Quick catch. Quick first down. And again, they'll keep the game alive. Brant Kuthi hangs on to it. Nearing the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 7 at around the 14-yard line. Rising, looking. It is caught at the 1 by Money Parks. And Utah has a chance to make it a one-possession game. Rising looks to throw it on 2nd and goal. He'll go short. It is caught by Bernard, and he is stuffed in the backfield. They've got to move quickly. No huddle here on 3rd and goal. Maybe the 1.5-yard line for Utah. Around 1:40 left to go here in this ball game. As Rising will look to throw it again. Rising for the end zone. It is broken up, incomplete. And again, Utah will have to go for it here on 4th and goal. They've converted twice on 4th down on this possession. We'll see if they can do it one more time. With the tight end in motion. Rising, hands it off. Micah Bernard dives in for a score, and this game will stay alive for Utah for a little bit longer. 28-23. They will not go for an onside. That really surprises me, given that the forte of this Michigan team is to run the ball, even if they haven't ran the ball all that well today. As it's a 3rd and inches, all they need is positive yardage, and Edwards is smothered in the backfield. I think that's Connor O'Toole who brings him down, and Utah's going to have one more opportunity. No timeouts, but they're going to have over a minute on the clock here. They're going to need to go pretty much 70 yards down the field. 2nd and 10. Cam Rising looks to throw it, has a very clean pocket all day. Downfield, he had an open receiver. It's incomplete. That was Dorian Senior. He had space. Rising had 10 seconds to throw it. And now it's 3rd and 10. Rising again with plenty of time. Downfield, caught for a first down by Damian Alford. And he's able to get out of bounds at the 43 with 58 seconds left, stopping the clock. 2nd and 10. Rising back to Alford. Down the field. And he is wrapped up at the 1. A big tackle for Michigan. But Utah will still have plenty of opportunities. That was the safety, Makari Page, with what could be a game-saving tackle as Utah spikes it I don't really agree with that decision. I feel like you want as many opportunities for the end zone as you can get, even if it is a rushed play call. 2nd and goal. Really at the half-yard line. Obviously, they're going to look to throw it, and Rising throws it away. With no timeouts, you kind of have to pass the ball here again on 3rd and goal. And if you don't get it, you can open up the playbook a little bit on 4th. 3rd and goal, 35 seconds left. Here is Rising under pressure, and he throws it away again. Good job avoiding the sack, and now this game comes down to this play. 4th and goal at the half-yard line. Utah in a goal line set. Michigan expecting run. Bernard does not get it! Makari Page again is there with the tackle, and Michigan should be able to win this game if they're able to get out of safety territory. Handoff on 1st down. Donovan Edwards gets around 2 or 3. We have a flag, though. If this is holding or something, it could move them back to around the 1. And it is. It's on Andrew Gentry, the right tackle. So it'll move back. Whoa, Utah declines the penalty. What? Why would they? Are they stupid? You could have had them at the 2 with a golden opportunity for a safety. Am I missing something? Because that seems like a very odd decision. But okay, that's how this game will end. Michigan hangs on to beat Utah in a thriller here at the Sugar Bowl, 28-23. Utah lost this game by a yard. Makari Page, the senior safety, with a season-saving tackle on the not only on the 4th down at the goal line, but also on the Damian Alford reception that brought Utah to the goal line to begin with. Alford had plenty of space between him and Page, but Page was able to catch up and wrap him up at the half-yard line for what's probably the play of this game and one of the biggest plays of this entire season so far. And Michigan, despite being the 11th seed, will beat Utah, and they will be one of our final 4. So Michigan makes it back to the top 4. Cam Rising only completed 53% of his passes. He had some really good stretches in this game. 2nd quarter, he played well. Down the stretch, he played well. But in the 1st quarter, the 3rd quarter, he really was not that effective. Micah Bernard with a solid performance. Jalen Glover also with a solid game on the ground. A few receivers played well. Kuthi, Senior, Damian Alford with 2 big catches on the last drive. Alford's a big guy, not known for his speed, and we saw it on that lapse play. Junior Tafuna led the way for the defense, but it was not enough. With a really good game from Alex Orji, I am in awe of what I saw from him. 13 of 18, and these were not checkdowns. He was launching the ball down the field. On a day where they really couldn't run the ball, they relied on the vertical passing game, which is completely against Michigan's regular offense, and it worked. Defense wasn't perfect, but they made plays when they needed to, and they're going to the Final Four. Are we calling it the Final Four? I know it's not basketball, but I feel like that's only the appropriate name. And they'll play against the winner of this matchup between Ohio State and Georgia. Imagine if we get Michigan and Ohio State in the college football playoff. That would be something else. So the Buckeyes went 9-3 in the regular season, of course lost to Michigan, still got in as the 10th seed, and took care of business against Texas A&M in the 1st round. We saw a really good game from Will Howard, and we got to see all of the weapons that this team has. Their run game was kind of shaky against Texas A&M, and obviously that A&M front is nasty, but it's not going to get any easier going up against Georgia. Their receivers played well. Emeka Ibuka, Jeremiah Smith, the true freshman, and obviously they've got some great players on defense. As we take a look at Georgia, 10-2 in the regular season, beat A&M in the SEC championship 17-3. If Georgia's offense can play at a high level, this team can beat anyone, but they have not had enough consistency, I feel like, on the offensive side of the ball. Carson Beck has had a good season, but I wouldn't say he's been great. Trevor Etienne was phenomenal in the SEC championship, but before that game, he had averaged under 5 yards a carry and was injured. Now, this defense was terrific in the matchup against Texas A&M, and they've got some great players on that side of the ball. Edge rusher Michael Williams, probably a first-round pick this year. Safety Malachi Starks, probably a first-round pick this year, along with many other really good players on that side of the ball. I have no question about Georgia's defense. Now, it's not going to be easy against this Buckeye offense with Will Howard, who looks like an NFL quarterback. two likely top 100 picks at running back. Emeka Ibuka, who could be a first-rounder, and Jeremiah Smith, the true freshman, who looks like he could be a top pick in 2 or 3 years from now. This should be a really, really fun matchup, and it'll be interesting to see who wins this game and gets Michigan in the next round, because we know Ohio State's obviously got a lot of history with Michigan, but so does Georgia. Georgia and Michigan have been the two best teams in the country collectively over the last 3 years. They've played against each other in the playoff before, and we could get a rematch if they win this game here at the Fiesta Bowl, and a good run early for Trevor Etienne gets around 11. After a penalty, though, it's now 2nd and 16 for the Dogs. Their offense looking good early. They'll go back to Etienne up the middle, breaks the tackle, gets another first down, and this is a promising start for a Georgia offense who's, again, struggled in the SEC Championship against A&M. 3rd and 5, it's caught, but not for a first down. London Humphreys just shy of the yard to gain, and Georgia's going to take the points. I feel like when you're that close, given that you've been able to run the ball pretty easily. Oh, it's a fake! And Georgia will not get it! So the decision to fake backfires. Carson Beck, the holder, loses yards on the run. If you're going to go for it, punch it in. Why fake it on 4th and inches? That is a horrible decision. Ohio State now with it. And here's a good start to the possession. The tight end, G. Scott Jr., gets 34 yards, getting Ohio State well out of safety zone. 3rd and 11. Howard is sacked. No time to throw it. It's Gabe Harris, who is in the backfield with a sack for the Bulldogs, and they will get it back on offense. From around the 20, handoff for Trevor Etienne with another big run, and Etienne's off to a great start in this one. That'll wrap up another scoreless first quarter. These two teams have played ugly football games from what we've seen so far. Now, granted, both of those games were against Texas A&M, and maybe that's an A&M thing. But it has been an ugly one here. Georgia looks to change that early in the second, and they will. A touchdown for the Dogs. Dylan Bell, the junior, with the score, and Georgia strikes first. We did not see that kind of throw from Carson Beck in the SEC Championship game, albeit because he had no time to throw. But still, that's what we've been looking for, as Michael Williams is into the backfield with the sack. Given his production, I think he's now at 10 sacks, along with the freakish athleticism. This is somebody who I think very well could be a top 10 pick in this year's draft. 3rd and 17, it's caught. Not enough for a first down. That's Carnell Tate, who is shy of the yard to gain, and Georgia will get it back. 3rd down and 2. They'll go to Etienne. Breaks the initial hit, but is still going backwards. A loss of yardage for the Dogs. Wrapped up by Davis and Igbinosun. Ohio State with it now. 3rd and 11. Broken up into secondary. Incomplete. Should have been intercepted. That was Smael Mondon who had a hand on it. Georgia back with it. Trevor Etienne breaking tackles. Gets the first down past the 50. Georgia leaning in on their star running back, and it continues to work. 2.5 to play in the first half. It's a play-action fake. Beck looking downfield again. Another big play. It's Dominic Lovett with the touchdown, and Georgia adds to the lead. It's Lovett, the talented senior who's been the go-to guy in this offense for Carson Beck. And it's 14-0 with touchdowns of 45 and 43 yards respectively. And Ohio State's got to get it going here, nearing the 2-minute warning, as Dan Jackson is in the backfield for the Dogs, getting the sack. Georgia gets it back now with a chance to add to the lead even more, maybe turn this into a blowout. Beck, under pressure, wrapped up on the play. Tyleik Williams, the All-American defensive tackle, brings him down. And that'll wrap up an ugly first half of football, but we got to see some of the big plays that this Georgia offense can bring with 2 long touchdowns, 45-yarder for Dylan Bell, 43-yarder for Dominic Lovett, and the Dogs lead it 14-0 over Ohio State. The Buckeye offense has just got nothing going. Their offensive line has struggled now 2 weeks in a row. They got beat up by the Texas A&M front, couldn't run the ball. They can't run the ball today. Will Howard does not have time to throw it. Howard has not had a bad game, but everything around him, particularly his blockers, has failed him. Under pressure here, he has to send it out of bounds. Michael Williams leads the cavalry for the Bulldogs. Georgia gets it back, though, at the 3 after a great punt by Maverick Jamison for Ohio State. Trevor Etienne on the first play of the drive, breaking tackles. Etienne gets over 40 yards, and the Georgia offense continues to keep the wheels churning. 3rd and 4. Beck, play action, looks to throw it, hit as he throws, and it's caught! A first down inside the 15 for Dylan Bell. He was under a lot of pressure there. It was Tyleik Williams in the backfield. But Georgia converts, and they've now got it at the goal line. 3rd and 2. Beck for the end zone. It's intercepted. Denzel Burke with the interception. He picked off Connor Wegman a week ago, and that led to the Ohio State offense getting a lot of momentum and taking a nice lead. We'll see if they can get similar luck here. They needed a big turnover to keep it a 2-score game. We'll see if the offense can respond. This is a good start. G. Scott Jr. pushed down at the 40. Huge gain for the tight end, who's probably been the best player for this Ohio State offense today. Trevion Henderson gets nothing there on 2nd down, and now it is a 3rd and 6 for Ohio State. Nearing the end of the 3rd quarter, they will get it off. Howard lobs it up. Single coverage, no good. And it is incomplete. That'll wrap up the 3rd. 14-0 lead for Georgia. And that'll send us into the 4th quarter. Ohio State's going to have an early 4th down decision to make, being outgained by around 200 yards. Georgia averaging double the amount of yards per play. And Ohio State's going to take the points. Interesting call here. Jaden Fielding's kick is up. And it's no good! It looked like it had a chance, but it's off the mark. Ohio State probably should have been aggressive there. A field goal would have kept it a 2-score game to begin with. And the fact that Fielding misses it hurts even more. Remains 14-0. Unable to get momentum off the turnover. And Georgia has it back. Here's Beck looking downfield for the tight end, Oscar Delp, who brings it near the 30. Georgia had it in the red zone on their last drive and turned it over. We'll see if they're able to learn from their mistakes, as it's a 3rd and 13. Chewing clock. They'll go to the ground with Trevor Etienne, who gets around 5. And the Dogs are going to look to kick. Peyton Woodring, the sophomore, will attempt this one from around 32 yards out to make it a 3-score lead, and it is through. 17-0 in favor of Georgia. And if we go back to the SEC championship game, they only let up 3 points against A&M. Now a goose egg for Ohio State. We'll see if the Buckeyes can finally get something rolling here, as it's G. Scott Jr. again with a 1st down to around the 45-yard line. 2nd and 3. Kalaka's moving. Got to move fast. Here's Howard. Under pressure. Goes short for Scott again. He is into the red zone. Wrapped up at around the 20. Ohio State now with it at the goal line. 1st and goal at the 4. Howard looks to throw it. Looking for the end zone. It's caught. Emeka Ibuka with his 1st catch of the entire game. Comes at a pretty good time. It goes for a touchdown. And it is 17-7. Ohio State now needing to go for the onside kick. And this is a long one. Ultimately scooped up here by Georgia. And they'll be wrapped up near midfield. So the Bulldogs should be able to chew some clock. Try to finish this game off, as on 3rd and 3. They'll give it to Etienne. And he does not get the 1st down. Ohio State calls timeout. You got to go for it here on 4th and inches. End this game, punch your ticket to the Final Four, and get set for a rematch from a couple years ago with Michigan. The tight end, Oscar Delp, in motion, stays on the right side. He'll be used as a blocker for Etienne, and he does not get it. The dream stays alive for a little bit longer for Ohio State, as it's a 2nd and 7 for the Buckeyes. Will Howard looks to throw it under pressure, and he is sacked. 2nd sack of the day for Gabe Harris, and it's now 4th and 15. Game and season on the line. Howard goes short. It is caught, and not enough. The 1st down is Carnell Tate, and that'll do it. Georgia is going to the Final Four. They win a college football playoff game after not making it a season ago. And they will play against Michigan in the next episode for a spot in the national title game. Wow, an exciting win here for Georgia. Their defense has been absolutely tremendous. In the 2 games we've watched them against Texas A&M and Ohio State, they've allowed 10 points. Their pass rush has been great. Their run defense has been dominant. Their coverage has been phenomenal. Obviously, we've been impressed by Michigan's offense, but Michigan's not as talented on that side of the ball, so it'll be interesting to see if they're able to keep up this unlikely success. As for this matchup specifically, again, as I mentioned, another ugly game with these 2 teams. Georgia's offense wasn't particularly impressive. They had the 2 big plays in the 2nd quarter with Dominic Lovett and Dylan Bell. Otherwise, it wasn't some great game. I feel like Carson Beck was fine. He wasn't bad. He had the 2 impressive throws. He also had the interception in the red zone. Trevor Etienne was really the glue and the engine for this offense, though, and the fact that they were able to control the game on the ground, I think, is a big reason why they won, with obviously their defense having another tremendous game. And as I talked about earlier in the matchup, Will Howard did not have a bad statistical performance. He was efficient. He made good throws. but they couldn't really run the ball. Quinshon Judkins was okay. Trevion Henderson was less than okay. G. Scott Jr. played really well, but Ibuka only had one catch. Jeremiah Smith only had a few. And while Ohio State's defense was good, up front on offense, they really struggled, and that was the difference. That'll bring us to this next matchup. We've got Texas and Miami at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I would argue with the 4 matchups, this one might be the most evenly matched. And the winner of this game is the winner of us and Oregon coming up at the end of the episode. And we'll start with Texas, who we saw in the last episode against Tulane. And they barely escaped that game with a win. They really should have lost. Tulane had probably 4 different chances to close out the game, and they never did. Now, we did see some big-time throws from Quinn Ewers. He had some excellent downfield passes. Isaiah Bond with 200 yards through the air, but as good as Bond was, they could not run the ball. Cedric Baxter really struggled. Their SEC offensive line lost the battle up front to a group of 5 defensive line. I thought defensively they were fine. The run defense was okay. The pass defense was okay. Nothing spectacular, but not bad either. It's going to be a bigger challenge, though, going up against Cam Ward and this Miami team, who obviously had the Florida game early in the year when they were down 34-0 early in the second half. Came back, nearly won it. I've only lost once since to Syracuse. They squeaked away with a win in the ACC Championship against NC State, a game they almost lost, and had they did lose it, they would not have made the playoff. In the ACC Championship, we really got to see what Cameron Ward is made of, and he was really impressive. Obviously, they've got a great running back with Damian Martinez. Jacoby George and Xavier Restrepo lead the receiving room, and defensively, they've got some big boys up front with Cook, Alston, and Ruben Bain. That's along with a young secondary who's going to have their hands full covering Bond, Niblack, Golden, and Bolden. So we'll see who ends up going to the Final Four with Michigan and Georgia. Will it be Texas, a team like Michigan and Georgia with a lot of playoff experience over the last couple of years, or will it be a team who's never played in the college football playoff, that being Mario Cristobal's team with the University of Miami? A couple of talented quarterbacks, both projected to go on day 2 of this year's NFL Draft. Both of them could really rise their stocks with a good performance today and the rest of the way in the playoff. Is it Cedric Baxter to the left side? He's got room down past the 35, all the way to the 25. Where was that last week against Tulane? They could not run the ball at all. Now they get a huge run with Baxter, who gets it back on 3rd and 13 with the screen into the red zone inside the 5. A quick start for Cedric Baxter. He looks great on this opening possession. Again, a far cry from the last game against the Green Wave, and fittingly, it is Baxter who ends the possession with a score. And Texas marches down the field. They strike first and lead 7-0 as we take a look at Miami now. On 2nd and 8, here's Cameron Ward under pressure, and he is sacked on the play for a loss of yardage, wrapped up by number 45, Vernon Broughton, joined in by Anthony Hill Jr. 3rd and 14. Short throw is caught by Damian Martinez with a 1st and more. Past the 35. Great play after the catch by Martinez. The talented transfer from Oregon State. And Miami keeps the chains moving with a huge 1st down. But can they convert again? 3rd and 10. Ward looking downfield, and it's hauled in. Another conversion for the Canes. This time Jacoby George, who finishes the year with over 1,000 yards, getting the play. On 1st down, they'll go back to Martinez, and he is smothered in the backfield by about 4 different defenders, and Miami wouldn't be able to do much after that, so they're going to have to settle for a field goal. Andres Borregales, his kick is good. One of the top kickers in the nation, splits the uprights, and the Canes are on the board as it is 7-3. A solid drive for Miami. They got a couple big 3rd down conversions, but that loss of 6 from Martinez on 1st down really killed all the momentum that they were gaining. And now we'll take another look at the Texas offense late in the 1st quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Longhorns. They have it just past the 20 as Ewers goes right back to C.J. Baxter with a big start, and he is picking up right where he left off. A gain of around 20 for Baxter, and that'll just about wrap up the 1st quarter. Texas leads 7-3. I think you have to be especially encouraged if you're a Longhorn fan, because Texas is winning in ways that they couldn't last week. The run game was a disaster against Tulane, and now they're running it down Miami's throats. Into the 2nd quarter, 3rd and 11. Here is Ewers with all day. Launches it down the field, and it's broken up in the secondary. He figured he might as well go for the end zone. Worst case, it's an arm punt. Instead, they will actually punt. And Miami has it back. Damian Martinez to the right side with space. Martinez inside the 35, wrapped up near the 30. A big run for Martinez, looking to get things going on the ground after a quiet first quarter, as he'll get it back here on first down. Up the middle, Martinez inside the 10. A nice gain there for Martinez. He'll get it right back. 2nd and goal. Flips into the end zone for a touchdown. And Miami takes their first lead of the game. It's Damian Martinez, puts the crown on himself. And it's 10-7 in favor of the Canes. Big drive here for Texas, as it is a 3rd down and 9. Ewers looks to throw it. Has time, now under pressure, and he throws it away. Miami's defense started off slow, but over the last couple of drives, they've looked a lot better. Now they force a 3 and out, and they'll get it back on offense with a chance to add to the lead. 2nd and 13, here is Ward. No time to throw it, he is sacked. Ethan Burke, the junior hailing from Austin, Texas, brings him down. And that'll make it a 3rd down and 22 for the Canes with under 4 to go in the half. Ward looks to throw it under pressure, up the middle. A big hit. He was looking for Joshisha Trader, the true freshman wideout, and he takes a pop. Texas gets it back, remains a 3-point game, 3rd and 9. Ewers looking downfield. It is broken up. 2 Miami defensive backs in the area, but ultimately they are able to get the stop. Francisco Mauinoa is the guy who got a hand on it last. And Miami has it back with a big play here for the freshman Trader. Gets it past the 30, and Miami's offense looks to be back in business again. They wouldn't do anything afterwards, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal here on 4th down. Borregales with a long one from 55, and it's good! Andres Borregales with his 2nd field goal of the game, and it is a 13-7 lead now for Miami. Texas still has done nothing since the opening possession, as on 3rd and 7. Ewers launches a rocket for the end zone, looking for Isaiah Bond, and it's tipped and incomplete in the secondary. Another stop for Miami, and the struggles for Quinn Ewers and the Texas offense continues. They relied on the run early. They've gone away from it, and it's backfired. Ward on 2nd down launches a strike near the 30, and it's Jacoby George who ends up with it for a 1st down, gaining around 27. George, a projected day 3 pick in this year's draft, is on 3rd and 10. That one is caught up the middle for a 1st down. It's George again, the Hurricane mascot, doing cartwheels as Miami looks to make it a 2-score lead. Under 10 to go in the half. Short throw is caught. That is Xavier Restrepo, who gets around 6. And Miami's going to call the timeout, bringing the field goal unit on, looking to make it a 2-score lead going into half. Borregales is already 2 for 2. We'll see if he can add one more for the Canes. This one is up, and it is good. But we've got a flag. It looked like there was a late hit on the kicker. And now Miami has an interesting dilemma. We'll see if they choose to run another play or take the points. They can get the ball at the 6, but with only a few seconds left. Yeah, decline the penalty. Take your 2-score lead going into half. Good start for Miami. They lead 16-7. They allowed the opening drive touchdown. Cedric Baxter ran it down their throats. But Texas hasn't utilized Baxter as much, and the passing game has struggled. The Longhorn offense has gotten nothing since then. As for Miami, a lot of very solid, sustainable drives. Now, they've had a hard time finding the end zone with only 1 touchdown for Martinez. But still, 4 scoring drives in the first half versus 1. Certainly a positive for the Canes, who start the second half on offense with a chance to add to the lead. On 3rd down, they're going to look to run the ball, and Martinez is tackled behind the line of scrimmage in the backfield. Big play for Texas. We'll see if their offense can get something going here. They need some momentum. They need to go back to the ground game, as Ewers is sacked on 1st down for a loss of a few. He's wrapped up on the play by Raul Aguirre Jr., amongst others. And now it's 3rd and 15 for Texas. Ewers looks to throw it under more pressure. Sacked again. Ruben Bain Jr., the standout sophomore, comes home, along with the senior Elijah Alston. Miami with it. 3rd down. Ward is under pressure, fumbles in, and it's picked up by Miami. A close call there. That's Trey Moore, the All-American junior, and transfer from UTSA with the strip sack. Both pass rushes looking good early in the 3rd. Ewers, meanwhile, looking downfield for Isaiah Bond. An 84-yard touchdown, and Texas is back in the game. Isaiah Bond had over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns last week against Tulane. Texas was most successful having Isaiah Bond on those go routes, burning the defensive backs. Miami does not have a safety to catch up with him deep, and a great throw from Ewers. Again, we are seeing the deep ball in full display from Quinn Ewers. And I don't know if there are many prospects so far who have seen their stock go up with these playoff games than Isaiah Bond, who has been brilliant. 2-point game. Miami has it back. Ward looking downfield, but it's broken up in the secondary. He was trying to get it to Isaiah Horton. Texas now with it back. Ewers looking downfield again. He's got a wide open man. It's Silas Bolden. And he is gone. 57-yard score, and within a matter of a couple of plays, Texas, who was down by 2 scores not too long ago, takes the lead. First it was Isaiah Bond. Now it's Silas Bolden. And the Longhorns are going to be up by 5. Miami's not playing enough guys deep. It was the same issue that Tulane had. Not enough cover 2, not enough cover 3. They've got everybody near the line of scrimmage or in man coverage, and it has backfired tremendously. So Texas, again like last week, relying on the deep ball, and it is a 21-16 game late in the third. The Longhorns have the momentum right now, and we'll see if Miami can respond. They'll go to the ground with Martinez, who breaks the initial tackle, breaks another, and Martinez has it past the 35. And that'll wrap up the third quarter. A really strong quarter for Texas with an 84-yard touchdown for Bond and a 57-yarder for Silas Bolden. Texas has found something that works for them in the passing game, and that's stretching it deep. Into the fourth quarter, Miami opens up with the ball. 2nd and 10. Huge drive here for the Canes. They'll go with Damian Martinez to the right side. Martinez! Down the field! Nobody's going to catch him, and Miami's back ahead. A 64-yard touchdown for Damian Martinez. His second score of the game, and the Canes are ahead by 1. We'll see if they go for 2. A huge run for Martinez, and just like that, the momentum back in favor of Miami. Martinez is able to find space to the right side, and boom, he is gone like a cannonball. 22-21. Miami's obviously going to go for 2 here. We'll see if they can punch it in. They've struggled in short yardage situations today, so we'll see if they can punch it in and make it a 3-point game. Short pass is caught. Trader walks it in. Jashisha Trader makes it 24-21, and an 8-point drive for Miami. Texas has it back. Ewers looking deep again. It is broken up this time, incomplete. Texas punts. Miami back with it. We'll see if they can choose some clock. Maybe add to this lead with under 6 to go. 3rd and 12. Ward hit as he throws, incomplete. Looks like he threw it right to the defensive back. He's lucky that wasn't picked off. And Texas gets it back. 3rd and 10. Ewers floats up a moon ball for Isaiah Bond! And Texas is back ahead. You cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Isaiah Bond has been uncoverable going downfield today, and Miami still has no answers for him, just as Tulane didn't earlier. Ewers, with an absolute beauty, places it perfectly on the money, and again, Miami over-reliant on the one corner. They need to have another safety back there in coverage so they can have 2 guys monitoring Isaiah Bond, because single coverage with him is not working. 28-24, Miami gets it back. 3rd and 7. Ward's pass is broken up by Malik Muhammad, and the Canes are going to punt it away. They trust their defense to get a stop. Texas actually has to run the ball now. They did it early and it worked, and since then they kind of went away from it. 2nd and 10, they will go back to the air, and it's caught for a first down. A nice throw by Ewers. Now 2nd and 3, under 3 to go. Play action again. They just don't want to run the ball. It's caught for another nice gain and another first down for the Longhorns. And they're getting close to field goal range, although I'm sure their top focus, rather than getting some points, is trying to end this game. They'll go back to the air on 3rd and 7. Do not get the first down, though. Miami stops them just inches away from the first down marker. And Texas will elect to kick, so they trust their defense to get a stop, it looks like. 39-yard try for Burt Auburn, another one of the top kickers in the nation. That one is good, and it's 31-24. So Miami's defense does enough, and they will get the ball back with an opportunity to theoretically tie the game. I still think I would have gone for it there if I was Texas, because it was 4th and inches. Miami only has 1 timeout, so if they got the conversion, it would have been game over. But clearly, they trust their defense, and it pays off! Ward is immediately intercepted on the first play of the drive. Malik Muhammad with the interception, and that should do it. So the potential game-time drive for the Canes does not last long at all, and Texas gets it right back. 3rd and 13, looking to finish it off for good. It's Baxter. He will not get the first down. Miami's able to stop them, and now Texas goes for it. I feel like this is where you kick the field goal to make it a 2-score lead. I don't get the play calling here from Steve Sarkisian at all. 4th and 1, 15 seconds to go. Miami needs a stop, and they need a Hail Mary. It's a pass, it's a screen, and Baxter gets the first down. I guess we should not question Texas' motives because what they're doing is working, and this game is over. The Longhorns win the Peach Bowl, and they are headed to the Final Four, where they will meet either Kansas or Oregon. A really fun game. Miami gave it all they had, and it was a really fun season for a Miami team who's been perpetually disappointing since the early 2000s. They bring in Cameron Ward from the transfer portal. He had a phenomenal year, but in typical Mario Cristobal's team's fashion, they lose the big game, and the quarterback struggles in the big game. Ward was certainly outplayed by Quinn Ewers, and that ended up being one of the big differences. Cameron Ward had one of his worst games of the year. He wasn't overly efficient. He didn't make big throws. And when Miami needed him most on that last drive, he throws an interception on the first play. He only completed 50% of his passes, and while he was under quite a bit of pressure and his receivers weren't outstanding or anything, for a guy who I had a lot of hope for going into this playoff, he ended up being a disappointment in this game. Now, Damian Martinez had a huge day on the ground, and I honestly thought Miami's defense really was not that bad. It's just that they allowed the big plays. They got beat deep, but the defense on a drive-by-drive, play-by-play basis was pretty good, and that brings us to the Texas offense. On one hand, Quinn Ewers won them this game with those 3 passing touchdowns in the second half. His stock goes up today because he had a good game, and he made some big throws, but he was not consistent. He missed a number of throws in this game. The run game was also not overly consistent, but the splash plays was ultimately the difference for Texas. Another huge game for Isaiah Bond. He has 400 yards through these 2 playoff games and 4 touchdowns, and then the defense was outstanding. The pressure was great. When they needed a stop, they got one quickly with the interception by Malik Muhammad, who played a great game, and he looks like a first-round pick in a couple of years. And that brings us to one more game, the Rose Bowl between Kansas and Oregon. One more spot left in the Final Four. The winner will play against Texas, who, of course, we just saw beat Miami. This is going to be one hell of a challenge for us. For a team who's had a supposedly easy schedule this year, we have not played against anybody near the talent level of this Oregon team, who's number 1 in the nation, undefeated, 13-0, Big Ten champions. They beat Ohio State. They beat Michigan twice. They have steamrolled through their schedule, and on paper, with the amount of future first-round picks this team has, this team rivals the talent level of 2019 LSU and 2020 Alabama in terms of recent national champions. This Oregon team checks off all the boxes. They are the clear favorite to win this tournament, and boy, it is not going to be easy for us. And the question is, does this team have enough to even stay competitive with Oregon, let alone give them a run for their money? And I believe the answer is yes. We played a good game last week against SMU. We nearly beat Utah, so we've shown that we're able to hang and beat playoff teams. Jalen Daniels, of course, is a terrific quarterback. We've got one of the few backfields in the nation that rivals Oregon with him and Devin Neal. We've got the playmakers out wide. We've got the impact players defensively. I think this team has what it takes to potentially at least have a chance at shocking the world. But boy, it is going to be hard because this Oregon team, they have NFL talent everywhere, including the one guy who finished higher in the Heisman race than Jalen Daniels, that being the winner, quarterback Dylan Gabriel, who statistically had a great season. I don't think he should have won the Heisman. I thought 2 or 3 other players on this team deserved it more. Jordan James and Noah Whittington out of the backfield with 10 touchdowns each. I think Evan Stewart was the best receiver in the country this year, and if not him, it might have been Trayshawn Holden. Defensively, Jordan Birch is going to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. 23.5 sacks. He is very close to breaking the all-time single-season sack record, which is 24, set by Terrell Suggs. Jeffrey Bassa at linebacker might be a first-round pick. at corner. Jabbar Muhammad could be a first-round pick. Tysheem Johnson at safety. He's going to be a high pick. And then these young guys like Mateo Uyunglele, Jaleel Florence, Elijah Rushing, the true freshman. They've got so much talent on both sides of the ball. This is the best team in the nation. But look, if we can hang with these guys and possibly even beat them, Oregon starts with it. 2nd and 8. Play action. Gabriel smothered in the backfield. Loses around 3 or 4 on the option. It is Dylan Brooks who brings him down. They're going to get called for a hold, though, on the center, like Apani Loluolu. And we're going to accept the penalty. I would rather push him back a little bit. I trust the defense to get 2 stops. 3rd and 18. Gabriel under pressure. Rolls to the left. Throws it away. So the defense starts the game with a stop. That's a good opening drive, and now we take a look at this offense. With the amount of future pros on this Oregon defense, this is as close to an NFL defense that Kansas is ever going to play against. 3rd and 6, Daniels rolls to the left with space, gets the first down, and runs out of bounds past the 50. It's going to be harder for Jalen Daniels to scramble because Oregon has very impressive athletes in the front 7, but that time he gets space to the outside with a nice run. On first down, it's Devin Neal to the right side with plenty of room. Jukes away from Tysheem Johnson and gets a first down gain. Devin Neal was a non-factor for most of the matchup against SMU. If we can get him going early, that'd be a big deal. Daniels back with his legs, slides past the 25. Kansas is running it down Oregon's throats to open this drive as it's a play-action pass on first down. Daniels fakes the sack, but is eventually wrapped up. Mateo Uyunglele with the initial hit, and Justin Jacobs, the transfer from Iowa, finishes off the sack. 3rd and 18, it looks like it's going to be a design screen, and Daniels is pressured, throws it into the ground. And the Jayhawks are going to have to settle for a field goal try. 49-yarder for Owen Piper-Gerdes. This would be one of his longest of the year, and it is good! Right down the middle, Kansas scores first with a field goal for Piper-Gerdes, and they lead it 3-0. So a pretty good opening drive. We ran the ball really well, didn't get a lot out of the passing game, but I liked what I saw on the ground. Jalen Daniels extending plays with his legs. Devin Neal looking good early. As we take a look at the Oregon offense once again, Jordan James losing yardage on first down. Tywan Berryhill Jr. with the initial hit. 3rd and 11, Dylan Gabriel under pressure, and he is sacked near the goal line. It's Dylan Brooks and Dylan Wudke who bring him down, half a sack each, and that'll force a punt. Kansas gets it back. The defense has been phenomenal so far. Devin Neal in motion. Daniels looks to throw it, rolls to the right, looking short, finally completes a pass. It's Skinner with a nice play after the catch. Skinner, of course, with one of the best games of his career a week ago against SMU, as it's now 2nd and 1 at the 21. Devin Neal to the right side, outruns multiple defenders and is pushed out at the 10 by Tysheem Johnson. This Oregon team does not look like the number 1 team in the nation. Their offense has been non-existent, and their defense, especially the run defense, has really struggled so far. 1st and 10, Daniels looking, corner of the end zone, it's caught for a touchdown. Jared Casey with the score, and the Jayhawks will lead it 10-0. Don't tell Kansas this Oregon team is unbeatable, because they look anything but right now. The Jayhawks have dominated this game so far, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. So what have we learned in these first 10 minutes, guys? We have learned that not only Kansas is able to hang with the best in the country, but they can beat the best in the country. 10-0, Oregon with 0 passing yards. Dylan Gabriel has not completed a single pass, and the run game has given them nothing so far, and their defense has not been much better. 3rd and 3, Gabriel has to get something going, and they finally complete a pass, finally getting a first down. That's Trayshawn Holden, the transfer from Alabama. Up the middle, Jordan James, the junior running back, breaking tackles, wrapped up by Grant, but not before getting the first down. And now the Oregon offense is starting to get a little mojo going. Back to James on first down. He's got space to the right side and is decked at the 40 by Marvin Grant as Matthew Bedford, the senior guard, is hurt on the play for Oregon. But they're starting to really run the ball well. They've got something going with Jordan James. Gabriel on the run, back to James. He outruns J.B. Brown, who eventually pushes him from behind out of bounds at around the 25. Oregon now with it inside the red zone, inside the 10. They'll go back to James, and he walks it in, untouched for a score, and Oregon is back in the game. Their first two drives, they got nothing going, but they really lean on the junior running back Jordan James here with a few big runs finished off by the touchdown. Kansas back with it. Neal loses 4. It's big number 1, Jordan Burch. Expect us to say his name a lot today. Already multiple TFLs. The presumptive number 1 pick. He would have been my vote for the Heisman Trophy. But on 3rd and 11, Daniels fires up the middle for Luke Grimm, who brings it to the 45-yard line. Nice throw, splitting multiple defenders. 2nd and 10, Daniels looks to step up in the pocket, trying to find space to slide, but he'll fight for extra yards instead, gaining around 9, and he continues to be a positive on the ground. 3rd and 1 at the 45 now. It's going to be an RPO for Grimm, and he gets his stuff rocked. A big hit in the secondary, and Kansas is going to elect to punt the ball here. Look, when you're facing off against a team like Oregon, you don't want to give them big momentum swings. So we're going to punt the ball, try to win the field position battle, and pinning them down deep at the 3 is one way to do that. Great punt by Damon Greaves. Kansas defense has been excellent inside the 5-yard line this year, but James on first down has space, breaks tackles, and he's still on his feet! Nobody's going to catch him! A 97-yard touchdown for Jordan James, and Oregon takes the lead. What a start to this game for Jordan James, and I guess maybe punting it wasn't the strategy there, because Oregon gets a 97-yard run. It's a one-play drive, and look at James here. Look at his contact balance. How does he stay up? And once he gets by the secondary, breaking those 4 tackles, there's nobody who's going to catch him. And Kansas' dominant first quarter is completely flushed down the toilet within a matter of minutes. And that's what happens when you play against a great team like Oregon. Leads can vanish fast, and the offense has got to get things going again. Neal with a juke move breaks the defender's ankles and is wrapped up out of bounds at around the 40 by Jabbar Muhammad, the transfer from Washington. On first down with Devin Neal in motion. Daniels, pump fake, looks to run with it again. Scrambles with it up the middle, first down and more. Fumbles it, and it's picked up! Derek Harmon, the big defensive tackle, forces and recovers the fumble, and everything continues to go Oregon's way here in the second quarter. That's what you have to deal with against a team like Oregon. Even these big, 6'5", 320-pound defensive linemen are able to match Daniels' speed. He's one of the fastest quarterbacks in the country, and Derek Harmon, the nose tackle, was able to catch up to him. These Oregon defensive linemen are complete freaks. Jordan Burch is a freak. Mateo Uiagalelei is a freak. Harmon, we saw it on full display there. Ducks back with it. Gabriel surveys the field on second down, goes short. It's Jordan James with another first down. Our defense has had no answer for the junior back from Nashville. Following play, Gabriel winds up, wants it all, looking for Tez Johnson! Touchdown, Oregon! Johnson gets one step on the corner, Mello Dotson, but that's all he needs for Gabriel to put that throw in the bucket. And the dominant second quarter for the Ducks continues. They lead by 2 scores. A good route there by Tez Johnson, the stepbrother of Broncos quarterback Bo Nix. Gabriel not known for the deep ball, but he winds it perfectly there, and that was solid coverage by Mello Dotson. He was only a step behind, but it was such a good throw that Dotson has no chance to make a play on the ball, and now the offense has got to get something going here. Daniels runs by Jordan Burch. Hit as he throws, launches it downfield. He's got Wilson! Trevor Wilson inside the 20, pushed out at the 15. It'll go for a gain of 63 yards. Oh my God, what a play by Jalen Daniels, trying to give Kansas some momentum right back. He starts by evading the sack from Burch. He takes a shot while throwing the ball and still sends it perfectly down the field for Wilson, who makes a nice play after the catch, gaining 63 yards. And within a matter of one play, Kansas has it in the red zone. They're taking this drive seriously. They know they have to score here. And on the second play of the drive, spin move, Devin Neal, touchdown, 1-score game. What a run by Devin Neal, who has looked significantly better today than he did in the first-round matchup against SMU. What a move. We got to look at this run again. Kansas gets some momentum right back with space to the right side. A nifty spin move has the defensive back flying, and it is 21-17. Kansas electing to not go for 2. I feel like it's too early to try to do it in that spot. Oregon back with it. Gabriel connects with Trayshawn Holden. 19 touchdowns this year. He has scored basically 40% of the time he's touched the ball, which is absurd. 2nd down and 20. Jordan James shrugging off defenders, gets a few, and they're going to call a timeout. So this tells me that they believe that they can score on this possession. So I would expect them to throw the ball here on 3rd and long, and they're not going to. They run it with James. I don't know why. I get that Jordan James has been the best player on the field, but if you're going to call a timeout, send it downfield. So Kansas calls a timeout. Now the Jayhawks can possibly look to take the lead before half. 2nd and 2, 30 seconds to go in the first half. Here is Daniels looking to evade the pressure. He cannot. Jordan Birch with a record-setting 24th sack of the year that ties Terrell Suggs for the all-time single-season record. 3rd and 4, Daniels hit as he throws. Sends it out of bounds, throwing it away, avoiding the sack. And Oregon's going to get it back with a few seconds left in this first half. Gabriel up the middle. Nice catch by Trayshawn Holden past the 50. Ducks call a timeout. We'll see if at the very least they can get in field goal range to add some points before the end of the half. But after an incompletion on 1st down, that doesn't seem likely. They're going to go for the Hail Mary. Gabriel, not known for his arm strength. He does get it there, but it's tipped and incomplete. And that'll do it here for the 2nd quarter. What a start to this game. No shortage of big plays on either side, but Oregon leads it 21-17. We obviously had a tremendous first quarter. We figured the Ducks were going to come back and make some plays, and they sure did. Jordan James with a huge touchdown run, 97 yards, this play right here. Then the big touchdown throw from Dylan Gabriel to Tez Johnson. But our offense responded quickly with a 2-play drive, the 63-yard catch by Trevor Wilson off of a ridiculous throw by Daniels, followed by a Devin Neal rushing touchdown, and I think we might be in for a thrilling second half of football here. Obviously, our Jayhawks have shown that they can hang with Oregon, but the Ducks picked it up in the 2nd quarter, outscoring us 21-7. And we'll see if Oregon can continue to be the better team the rest of the way. As hard as it is to beat Oregon, it's even harder to come back when you're losing against Oregon. So it's going to be a tough task for us, but we are starting the second half with the ball, and we'll see if the offense can keep things going in what's been a pretty good start. As on 1st down, Devin Neal, the good run, pushed out of bounds at around the 40-yard line. So already a good opener to the drive. Devin Neal continuing his productive afternoon. 2nd and 3, Daniels looks short. He's got the tight end Jared Casey, who scored early in the first quarter, trucks the defender, and is wrapped up for a nice play after the catch. Good play there by Jared Casey. He gets 37 yards. And Kansas is looking good on this drive to start the 3rd quarter, but Neal is going to lose 4 on 1st down. It's Jeffrey Bassa, the senior linebacker who's had a phenomenal season. He's more of a coverage guy, but he has like 14 sacks. As it's now 3rd and 5, up the middle, Grimm does not get the 1st down. It's 4th and inches. You best believe we're going to go for it here. A field goal would still have us trailing, so we're going to try to punch it in here. You'd think Kansas would look to run the ball here, but with Oregon stacking the box, that could lead to an audible. We'll see what the Jayhawks dial up. 4th and inches at around the 25-yard line. Daniels will hand it off to Devin Neal, and he does not get it! Oregon with the stop. Neal went to the left side, and that's where the traffic was. Justin Jacobs is the one who brings him down officially. And Oregon gets it back, holding on to their lead. Gabriel connects. It's Jordan James. Whoop! Nice move by James past the 50. We have had no answers for Jordan James. He has been a superstar in this game, with many of their other top offensive players like Holden and Evan Stewart having quieter games than normal. It's been James who has stepped up. He gets it back on 1st down, and finally we bring him down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 3. Dylan Brooks has had a nice day, and he is there with the tackle for loss. He is really holding his own against the right tackle of Johnny Cornelius, who's a future NFL prospect. 2nd and 13, back to James, and he makes up the yardage and many more. Gets around to the 1st down marker. But we've got a flag. This one's coming back. A holding call against the Ducks on the left tackle, Josh Connerly Jr., another likely future high pick who has won the individual matchup with freshman defensive end Dekias Brinkley. 2nd and 23, read option, spin move by Gabriel. Oh my goodness. I did not know Dylan Gabriel had that in his bag. We are now back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. Gabriel looking deep. Tez Johnson is wide open. He's got it. Touchdown, Oregon. Tez Johnson from 47 yards out. 2 receptions and 2 touchdowns for Johnson. And Oregon is back up by multiple scores. This time it was Caleb Purdy, the slot corner in coverage, and Tez Johnson, who is the fastest player on the field. Shows off his speed there. Caleb Purdy is not able to catch up. Gabriel again with the deep ball. He's not known for his deep ball, but he's made some big throws. His chemistry with Tez Johnson has been apparent down the field. Johnson as well, known as more of an underneath option who gets plays going after the catch. 3rd and 1. It's a direct snap. Devin Neal out of bounds with a first down as he gets past midfield. And now down by multiple scores, the Jayhawk offense once again trying to get something going quickly. They know they cannot let this lead for Oregon get any bigger. On 2nd down, it's a fake jet sweep, and Luke Grimm with a nice gain after the catch gets the first down. Solid afternoon so far for Grimm. 5 catches, 54 yards. On 1st down, play action. Jalen Daniels avoids the sack from Elijah Rushing. Under pressure, looks to run with it, and look at him go! Jalen Daniels is like a running back in the way that he can just evade defenders like it's nothing. He's out of bounds in the red zone. 7 carries for 68 yards, one of his most impressive rushing games of the year. And I thought he'd be a little bit more limited on the ground with an Oregon defense who has so many high-level athletes. But Jalen Daniels has been even more aggressive on the ground, and it has continuously paid off, excluding the fumble back in the 2nd quarter. From the 14-yard line, here's Daniels, clean pocket, now under pressure, evades the first sack, but is wrapped up in the backfield. Mateo Uyunglele starts it. Jordan Birch finishes it off, 24.5 sacks now on the year for Birch. 2nd and 13, Devin Neal goes backwards. It's Derek Harmon who brings him down, and that'll make it a 3rd and 14. Daniels looking, quick throw, and it is broken up by Jaleel Florence. He was looking for Lawrence Arnold. The idea there is that Oregon had a lot of guys near the line of scrimmage. I kind of knew that they would be in man coverage, and I thought Arnold would be open early. That's why we got rid of the ball quick. Doesn't work. Going to have to send the field goal unit out. Piper Gerties is now 2 for 2. And hey, it is a 1-score game now. It is 28-20, and that'll wrap up the 3rd quarter. Oregon was up by 4 going into half. They've since doubled their lead here in the 3rd with another long touchdown for Tez Johnson. The Ducks are 1 quarter away from advancing to the Final Four to face off against Texas, but this game is far from over. If there's anything we've learned about this Kansas team, they are the most resilient squad in the country. This team is made to come back in the 4th quarter. As Jordan James loses yards early, not to mention we had a penalty earlier on the possession, so it's a 3rd and 21. Just can't allow the deep ball here. Gabriel has to throw it away. It's Dakaius Brinkley with the pressure in the backfield, and what otherwise has been a quiet day for Brinkley. Kansas back with it. Daniels and empty. Now he's going to get Morrison to join him. It looks like it's going to be an option, and he loses yardage. Daniels knew better than to toss the ball there. He figured, I'm just going to take the loss. Jordan Birch, who's had a phenomenal day per usual, brings him down. 2nd and 11, here's Casey down the field inside the 20. Jared Casey's having his best game of the year. Could not have come at a better time. And he has the Jayhawks into the red zone. 2nd and 3, Daniels, end zone, touchdown! It's Lawrence Arnold with the score, and a 2-point conversion could tie it. Arnold on the curl route makes a nice grab. And now we'll see if Kansas can tie the game with under 8 minutes to go. It will be a pass. Daniels under pressure looking. Casey, he's got it! And we're knotted up at 28. That play did not go to plan. The idea was to have Daniels roll out and likely run it in for a score, but he was under pressure, had to throw it quickly. And Casey makes a great play. Good job to keep his feet in the end zone. And we're tied up. Nice response from Oregon. Tez Johnson with a first down. First time he's caught the ball and didn't end up in the end zone. Following play with just over 7 to go. It's Jordan James pushed for a loss of 4 by the true freshman Damani Maxon. 3rd and 7. James in motion with 6 to go. Gabriel, clean pocket, has all day. Now under pressure, throws it away. The defense gets the stop. The offense will get it back. And Kansas can take the lead on this possession with under 5 minutes to go. 3rd and 3. Neal with a nice move. Gets the first down. And he will stiff arm Kobe Savage, the transfer from our rivals Kansas State. But not before getting the first down past the 40. Following play action. Nobody's back deep. Skinner, wide open. He's got it. Quentin Skinner is tackled into the end zone. for a touchdown! And Kansas takes the lead here in the fourth quarter. That definitely was not Jalen Daniels' initial read, but when he sees there is no safety back there and Jabbar Muhammad gets beat off the line, you're going to go for that play any chance you get. They were not expecting Quentin Skinner to take a go route on first down, and he makes a great play on the ball. It was a little bit underthrown, and Skinner does a phenomenal job tracking the football, making sure he gets in the end zone. It's 35-28. This might actually be happening, guys. We are winning. Gabriel misfires on third down looking for Holden. Good coverage by O.J. Burrows, and Oregon will punt it away. They trust their defense to get a stop, and this game is now in the hands of our offense. Jalen Daniels and Devin Neal can finish this game and help us get one of the biggest upsets of the college football playoff era and punch our ticket to the Final Four and a date with Texas. But we've got to be efficient. We've got to run the ball against the best defensive line in the nation. Neal on first down gets 3, and we're going to waste as much time as humanly possible. 2nd and 7. Daniels will go back to Neal, and he is stuffed. Loses 2. Wrapped up on the play by a number of defenders once again, and it's 3rd down and 9. We could throw the ball here, try to be aggressive, but we're going to go back to the ground with Devin Neal. He's got space, solid gain, but does not get the first down. So Oregon does get the stop. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. The Ducks are going to have their timeouts, all 3 of them, along with plenty of time to try to drive down the field and tie this game. Our defense, I think, all things considered, has had a really strong second half. The pass defense has been great all day. Dylan Gabriel's had one of his worst games of the year, but he needs a huge drive to keep Oregon's season alive. On first down, Gabriel looking deep, and a big start for the Ducks. Evan Stewart, finally with his first catch of the game, he gets 31 yards. Kobe Bryant has had him in hell. Quite the matchup between a couple of possible first-round picks in this year's draft, and Kobe Bryant has certainly won that battle against projected top 10 pick Evan Stewart. From the 42, Gabriel and empty. Looking up the middle, it's a wide open man. Trayshawn Holden gets by multiple defenders and has the Ducks inside the 10. A quick start to the drive for Oregon. They are in business immediately, and they need to be mindful of the clock themselves. They don't want to give us the ball with a lot of time. 1st and goal, RPO. Trayshawn Holden is wrapped up after a gain of around 1 or 2. Jason Gilliam brings him down. 2nd and goal, Gabriel again and empty. Looking, end zone, touchdown! Trayshawn Holden for the 20th time this year. Mom, get the camera. He's widowy doing the gwitty. And Oregon will likely tie this game with 1:21 to go. A really quick drive for Oregon. It seems like this offense is best when they're trying to move things quickly, when they're looking to stretch the field. The deep ball for Evan Stewart. He finally gets involved. And then a couple big plays for Trayshawn Holden, who's been money all year. And now our offense has another opportunity to win the game. Jalen Daniels, let's see that Heisman moment. Let's see if he can shock the world and put Kansas into the Final Four. Luke Grimm on first down gets around 4. And a lot of time goes off the clock there. Kansas not in any hurry right now. 2nd and 6, short throw. Devin Neal out of bounds, does not get the first down. That'll make it a 3rd and inches. I feel like you just got to prioritize getting the first down here rather than going for the home run. And it is Devin Neal up the middle, just barely gets the first down, wrapped up by Uiagalelei. And Kansas will call the first of 3 timeouts. All they need is a field goal, keep in mind. Piper Gertie's warming up on the sideline. Daniels looks to run, outruns Derek Harmon. He gets a first down, sliding it around midfield. But look at this. Look at all the time that went off the clock. What happened there? We're going to have to call a timeout. There's only 8 seconds left. How did all that time go? That certainly was not intentional. So now we're going to need a big play here to try to get in field goal range, but that one is tipped by Jabbar Muhammad. Could have put us in field goal range if he didn't get a hand on it. And of course, earlier today, we saw his cousin Malik Muhammad get the game-winning interception for Texas against Miami. With 3 seconds, we're going to have to lob up the Hail Mary to win it in regulation. Daniels, it's a little bit shy, and it is caught by the defense. Tysheem Johnson with the interception, and we are headed to overtime. 35 apiece. It has been a great game here in Pasadena, and we are getting some extra football. A winner not yet crowned between top-seeded Oregon and the 9th-seeded Kansas Jayhawks. Our team is no stranger to overtime. I'm pretty sure we've played in at least 3 overtime games this year, we're 3-0. We had the big comeback against TCU, the improbable 3-score comeback against Houston, followed by a 5 overtime game against Kansas State. What does this matchup against Oregon at the Rose Bowl in the college football playoff quarterfinals have in store? And can the Jayhawks make it 4-0 this year in overtime? We get to choose the coin toss. Tails never fails, except for this time specifically it lands on heads, and Oregon will send the defense out first. So no time to waste. Jalen Daniels, Devin Neal, and the offense will get the first opportunity to score here in overtime. It's been a tremendous day for Jalen Daniels and company, but they've got to score again. On first down, we'll start with a run for Devin Neal. Whoop! Whoop! A couple nice moves, and he gets around 15. A big start to the possession for Devin Neal, and we've got it near the goal line. 1st and 10, essentially 1st and goal. It's an RPO. Jared Casey, he's going to get around 6 or 7, unable to break the tackle from Jeffrey Bussa, but he gets it to around the 3.5-yard line. 2nd down, short throw. Neal breaks a tackle, and he gets around a yard. That'll make it 3rd and 2. Kansas with likely 2 shots for the end zone. You don't kick a field goal in this scenario. So we'll see if they can punch it in on 3rd down and avoid the tough decision with Oregon stacking the box. What will it be? It's a pass. Daniels looking short. It is caught for a touchdown. Lawrence Arnold, his 2nd receiving touchdown of the game. So the Jayhawks open up the overtime period with a score. Lawrence Arnold has caught 2 passes today for 11 yards and 2 touchdowns. And with that, Kansas starts overtime number 1 with a touchdown. Oregon gets it back, looking to respond. Gabriel on 1st down, looking short. It's nearly intercepted. O.J. Burrows had the game in his hands, but he cannot come down with it. 2nd and 10 for the Ducks. Gabriel wants it all. He's picked off! The Jayhawks have done it! Kobe Bryant with the interception. Go down, go down! And this game is over! I don't believe it! Kansas shocks the world! They knock off number 1 seed Oregon and keep the Cinderella season alive. They are headed to the Cotton Bowl for the Final Four against Texas. Don't tell us this Oregon team is too good to beat, because we just beat them. The Ducks went undefeated in the regular season, the only team in the country to do so. They beat Michigan twice. They beat Ohio State. They've got probably a dozen first-rounders at least on their roster. But this team just finds ways to get it done. Do not count out the Jayhawks when they're down. We trailed by 11 at the half. We were down by 14 going into the 4th quarter. But look, it doesn't matter when you've got a group as tough and as resilient as this one. Going into this game, obviously I was hopeful and optimistic we'd be able to win. I didn't have that much confidence we were going to get it done. To no fault of our own, this Oregon team is spectacular. They had the best defensive player in the nation. They had the Heisman Trophy winner. They have probably the 2 best receivers in the country. They have, again, close to a dozen other likely first-round picks. And we still beat them. We had the top 2 Heisman finishers at quarterback battle it out. Really only one of these guys looked like a Heisman, and that was Jalen Daniels. Back-to-back games with 4 passing touchdowns. He made big throw after big throw. The interception was on the Hail Mary. You can't knock him for that. He was incredible. Devin Neal also with a great game. He played a lot better than he did in the first round against SMU, and Daniels was great on the ground as well. Through the air, it was unsung heroes. Casey, Skinner, Trevor Wilson making plays, and Arnold, of course, with the 2 second-half touchdowns. I thought up front we held up. Our offensive line wasn't great. Oregon's defensive line did what they usually do, but we still avoided too many bad plays. And then the defense, they were clutch when they needed to. The run defense struggled, but the pass defense was great. The secondary was phenomenal. Kobe Bryant, I think, is this game's MVP. He held Evan Stewart to 1 catch and had the game-winning interception. Kobe Bryant looks like he's going to be the first corner off the board in April. Dillon Gabriel was not great, completed 54% of his passes. Now, I will say he had some big throws, those 2 touchdowns to Tez Johnson, that last drive in the 4th quarter, but he was not efficient. You know who was efficient? Jordan James. He was a problem, but in the second half, we were able to bunker down and stop him. He was not very effective after halftime. Through the air, Holden was good, Tez Johnson was good, But Evan Stewart only caught 1 pass, and the John Mackey Award winner, Terrence Ferguson, was held off the stat sheet completely. He didn't catch a single ball. Defensively, obviously, the guys up front 8. 6 TFLs for Mateo Uyunglele, 5 for Jordan Birch. No team has stopped this Oregon defensive line. No team has stopped Jordan Birch. He's finished with at least 1 sack in all 14 games he's played this year. But if you can hold them to an extent and give your offense a chance, that's what we had to do. And ultimately, Jalen Daniels, even though he was under pressure all day, was able to get the job done. And we've got Texas upcoming in the Cotton Bowl for a spot in the national title. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my voice is like shot. Part of it is that this has been a long video, but also the amount of excitement in all of these games, specifically our own. Here are your players of the week, looking for some college football playoff guys. In the Big 12, we don't have anyone. Shedeur Sanders wins it on offense. Junior Tafuna wins it on defense. I think Kobe Bryant got robbed. He held Evan Stewart to 1 catch and had the game-winning pick. Here's a look at some of the other scores across the nation. Virginia Tech wins the illustrious Pop-Tart Bowl. Oklahoma State beats Rutgers in a pretty close game. Colorado, Ole Miss, Penn State, Oklahoma, and Auburn amongst your other winners. And with that, there are only 3 games left on the college football calendar. The Cotton Bowl semifinal, the Orange Bowl semifinal, and the national championship. And we will be going through all 3 of those games in the next episode. We will crown a national champion next time around with Michigan and Georgia at the Orange Bowl, Kansas and Texas at the Cotton Bowl, followed by the national championship game in Atlanta. Going into this season, even going into the playoff, I did not think we would still be alive in this final season 1 episode, but here we are. We have a chance to get it done with this roster core before going into the offseason with all of these talented seniors leaving for the NFL and having to rebuild completely. So we've got one more episode with Jalen Daniels, Devin Neal, Kobe Bryant, and the rest of the gang. And we've got an opportunity to win a national title. We've won 13 games so far this year, and we've got 2 more to go. That starts with Texas in the Cotton Bowl for a spot in the national championship game. I hope you guys enjoyed a really fun episode with some really good games. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out. Rock chalk.